I recently sailed on board Oasis of the Seas. This was a ship I have been wanting to see for a long time, so I had high expectations. I had been on Oasis's sister ship, Allure of the Seas, 4 years ago, but there is something special about the first ship and the namesake of a class. While she wasn't perfect, and had some issues that were addressed in the following ships of her class, there were features I was impressed by. Here are 5 things I enjoyed on Oasis of the Seas. Oasis of the Seas is the largest ship I have ever been on according to gross tonnage, and the 7th largest cruise ship ever built as of March 2026. But just because a ship is large doesn't mean that the passengers will be more dispersed. A ship gets its size from both onboard venues and staterooms. Based on my experience, Oasis was decently balanced. There were times it seemed more crowded than on a medium or small size ship, like in the Windjammer Buffet, or at any time an activity would occur in a specific area on board. Altogether, it did not seem more crowded than the average ship, with a pool deck, promenade, Central Park, and the boardwalk. Passengers were dispersed during the day. Conversely, I have never seen the Windjammer Buffet so crowded during dinner right when it opened. The 5th ship in the Oasis class addressed this problem and was built with a larger seating area. After 16 years in service, I don't think Oasis would ever undergo a major renovation to make room for more seating. Later on in the night, though, it wasn't as bad. The music hall during the night is host to live music and game shows, but during the day, it was empty. It overlooks the boardwalk, and it was one of my favorite spots on board to chill during the day. From morning through afternoon, there were maybe 10 people maximum in there at a time. All in all, some areas on the ship were more crowded than usual, some were about the same, and some were less. A big reason for the ship not feeling crowded all the time were the amount of places to eat. There was the Windjammer Buffet, the Solarium Bistro, Johnny Rockets, the Italian restaurant, the gourmet restaurant, the barbecue restaurant, the sports bar, and the main dining room. There was so much to choose from. Some of these are an upcharge, but even so, the food from the other venues was really good. Even within the buffet itself, there was a large variety of options, and most everything was good. If you go around dinner or breakfast time to any of these, it may get busy, but if you go at any off-peak time, you should be able to find a seat. There was enough to do throughout the entire week. With a large number of venues, there were more activities. While the main theater was underutilized during this cruise, there were still enough shows during the week. There's the Aqua show in the Aqua Theater, nightly comedy on Deck 4, the Ice show in Studio B, and the Broadway show Cats occasionally in the main theater. I was disappointed that there was only one guest entertainer the entire week, compared to other ships that have them almost nightly. I'm not sure the reason for this, but it may be different depending on the sailing and scheduling. That was disappointing, but it wasn't a deal breaker. Outside of entertainment, there were many adventurous things to do as well. The rock climbing wall was located at the back of the ship, lining the outside of the boardwalk. Also at the back is a 10-story tall dry slide, which has a surprisingly low wait time. Because I had been to the ports the ship was visiting, I planned to stay on for some of them so I could enjoy the ship with less people on board, which really worked out. The next thing on Oasis of the Seas that I really enjoyed was the Aqua show. The only water show I had seen was on Allure of the Seas, which I enjoyed, but the one on board Oasis was really good. I liked the 80s theme, I liked the music, and I liked the choreography. Realistically, I would never go on a ship exclusively for a show on board, but this was a major plus. It was among the best production shows I have seen on board a ship. I like outdoor theaters, so having it outside, on the boardwalk, at the back of the ship facing the water was really cool. The Aquadome Theater on the Icon-class ships look cool architecturally, but the Aqua show needs to be outdoors. The Aqua Theater on board the Oasis-class ships is very well done, and it sort of looks like an ancient amphitheater, which I love. It is a great venue, and it put on a great show. The last point on this list is something that isn't a big deal to everyone, but I want to include it nonetheless. Oasis of the Seas carries with it a sense of prestige. On board it is not treated differently than any other cruise, but to me Oasis is special. Architecturally, she is amazing. Seeing a ship of that size being able to move will never not be amazing. The design of any ship is difficult, but designing something as large as her seems unthinkable. And now their ship's even larger than her. Outside of that, Oasis just seems historic. When she came out, she was around 45% larger than any other cruise ship. Never say never, but I don't think we will ever see a jump in size that large ever again in cruise ship construction. She is the first of at least 7 in her class, with the 7th debuting almost 20 years later. Along with the original Sun Princess, Sovereign of the Seas, and the original Mardi Gras, Oasis of the Seas is one of the most influential cruise ships of all time. Now, here are some last thoughts. Was Oasis of the Seas perfect? Well, it depends on what you like. If you want a traditional cruise experience, then probably not. If you want a mainstream atmosphere, then maybe so. Regardless, it was an enjoyable experience. Personally, I like it somewhere in the middle. When it is all said and done, any day on a cruise ship is a good day. Thank you for watching. Don't look back in anchor, and have a smooth sailing.